Dan Kane talks with the stars of Grease, about to kick off the national tour in New Haven. One of the most successful musicals ever to play on Broadway is on the road tonight. Grease kicks off a national tour at the Shubert in New Haven. And in tonight's edition of Kane's World, Dan Kane introduces us to two of the show's stars. We are apparently having problems getting that tape of
Dan is at the Shubert.
He's at the Shubert with Grease. Let's go to him live now. He is standing by at the Shubert Theater. Dan, good evening.
How you doing, guys? This afternoon... Oh, do you? Let's take a look at the interview this afternoon.
Just like any other night, so there's a party afterwards, you know.
Listen to Mr. Casual. He's done this so many times that it's just like any other night to him. It's my first time and I'm excited. Hello, New Haven!
It's hardly just another night. It is opening night. Late this afternoon, it was last-minute finishing touches being put on this production of Grease, which will open its national tour tonight at the Shubert in New Haven. The significance of the theater was not lost on the stars.
It's exciting to be at this theater, Shubert, the tradition of this place. It's wonderful to be kicking off a national tour here, starting here. I mean, you know, Cole Porter, you feel the whole thing of everybody getting on the train, coming up from New York, agents and all that kind of stuff. It's a real classy way to kick it off.
I believe the original cast of this new version, the Broadway cast, it had 6 weeks to learn this, and we had 3.5 weeks to learn it before we performed it last week in Syracuse for our preview audiences. And so to learn all that dialogue and all the choreography and the singing and the harmony in that little bit of time, it was a rather intense situation. We were working 12 hours a day and everybody was tired and people had to go to the chiropractor and people got stitches in their leg.
But it's worth it. It's worth it, isn't it?
It's fabulous because here we are at the Shubert, New Haven.
When the curtain comes down, what are you looking to feel?
Standing O. I want standing O out there. Ovation, that is. That's what I'm looking for.
I want to get to the final note of the finale without falling into the orchestra pit.
Oh, set your sights a little higher.
No, really. I get so blinded out there by the lights that I can't see the edge of the stage that my biggest fear is falling in the orchestra pit.
Well,
so if I get to the end and I'm standing up and I yell the word Grease, I've made it, babe.
So let's hope she doesn't pitch into the pit. Curtain at 8 o'clock tonight. Tickets still available. Not for tonight, but tickets are available. Also, it doesn't really begin at 8 o'clock. It begins at 7:30. Davy Jones plays the disc jockey in the show, and from 7:30 until 8, he plays music and gets the crowd all worked up, and then bango, the curtain goes up, and it's off to the races. I'll have a review for you tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
Yeah. Dan, who is Sally playing, by the way, briefly?
She plays the English teacher.
English teacher. All righty. Thanks, Dan Kane, live in New Haven tonight.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Have a good one.
Good night.
The heavyweight champ plans a fight in Boston. Dave has all you'll need to know later in sports. In our cover story, Channel 3's Dan Kane puts on the ducktails and the leather. Back to time when Grease was the word. Flights are canceled. Story, Channel 3's Dan Kane puts on the ducktails and the leather. Back to time when Grease was the word. Flights are canceled and visitors cautioned. But first in our cover story, Dan Kane heads back to high school for a visit to Kane's World, you might say. Eyewitness News continues on the Night Beat. Grease is the word in New Haven, and our Dan Kane is there. Brooke Shields is starring in the revival of the musical Grease on Broadway, but you don't have to head all the way to New York to get some star power. Just head to New Haven, as our Dan Kane did for tonight's cover story, Kane's World.
The show started off with Davy Jones, who plays the DJ, inviting the audience members up on stage to party a little bit and get into the mood. Then Sally Struthers, the English teacher, shooed everybody back into their seats, checked for chewing gum, and it was showtime. The music is what makes Grease so great, and it was great hearing those songs again, despite some rather annoying audio problems. Things slowed down appreciably for dialogue, as in this slumber party scene. Wow, There's not much story to Grease beyond summer love, the Burger Place boys, the pink ladies, and the love of cars. You know that Zuko is going to end up with Sandy, so why not just sit back and enjoy the music? Grease is billed as a Tommy Tune production, and Tune was on hand tonight to check things out.
Grease is a phenomenon, and I don't know how to explain it, except I think it activates our high school memories, and we all had a good time in high school. I don't know. It's just fun.
But it's working.
It's working.
It's working. Everything's working.
Ka-ding-a-ding-da-dong. Shoo-up, shoo-wada-wada, yippity-boom-da-boom. Chang-chang, shangity-chang, shabop-dip-dip-dip.
You can save yourself a fortune just by swinging by the Shubert and hanging out outside. Had a great time tonight, and how'd you think it went?
I got my wish. I got a standing O.
How about you?
I got my wish. I did not fall into the pit.
Did you have a wish, Mr. Jones?
I got my wish she didn't fall into the pit because I was in there. She would have killed me. She would have killed me.
On that note, back to you guys.
Looks like everybody's happy in New Haven. Thank you. Channel 3's Dan Kane.